take you for a tour inside of a Beckett burner. Now, we call this type of burner in the industry, in our industry, the shotgun. Okay, so here what I'm replacing is the, oh man, I've bitten off more than I could swallow with this thing. I see these right here. Those are the igniter. So the igniter is pretty much, well, it's dead. Surprisingly enough, this thing lights up. D2DNY, real world HVAC simplified. And now in this video, if you want to get some insight on the Beckett burner, if you want to see how it is from the inside, then stick around. All right, if you want to see me replace the igniter and then explain how I take this whole thing apart, how this whole thing came apart, then stay tuned. Stick around. All right. So guys, if you ever have to get into a burner like this, if for any reason you're going to get into the burner, more than likely the only reason will be to do exactly what I'm doing, which is the igniter. Listen, the igniter. First thing you gotta do is disconnect your gas valve or gas pipe. Gas valve. Close your gas valve right there, like I have mine closed, and disconnect your gas line. Now, once you disconnect the gas line from there, that's the other half of the union, was right there. This part will still be attached to the burner. Okay, and what you're gonna have to do is this is a flange right here that comes up like so, and then these 4 screws right here, 4 bolts, holds that in, and then this piece, before I removed it, was in this hole here like this, like so. It goes all the way through. Push, you stick it all the way in there, it goes in, comes down, and coupled to this like rest, like so, by the flange. Okay, so you do it, guys. There's also a gasket right here, the gasket right there, a rubber gasket. I think when I was looking into this job, I never thought about, this is my first time, I'm a virgin, believe it or not. Well, a virgin to this. Right, in real life. Anyways, enough of that. Phone was ringing in the video. So yeah, so I never calculate or account for this, never calculated or account for this gasket. However, it's fiberglass, so I'm not too worried about it. I think I can get away with it. And in the side here, it's just it's not a lot of pressure, you know, just probably 4 or 5 inches of water column. That's about it. All right, so yeah, so yeah, there's four nuts. There they are, and this whole thing comes out. I did have to disconnect some wiring, you can see there, and at the minimum you'd have to disconnect this wire, you know, at the minimum. If you don't have that safety there, then you know you don't. All right, so let's get to it. So here's the new part. I'll take a look in comparison. Hold on a second, let me get a better view of that. There you go. Just to compare. And surprisingly, this thing still ignites. That's amazing, isn't it? All right, so you see what's going on here. That thing is completely eroded. All right, so it comes with this wire. The kit comes with this wire, which goes back to your transformer. I am changing the transformer as well. I did a video on this when I was diagnosing this, actually, so I'm going to leave the link to that in this video's description. So this is the old transformer, ignition transformer. I'm using the brand new one as a support, but it's fine. The brand new one here, I'll be putting it in. I'm removing this one and putting this one in. Now, if you want to see the video of me doing the diagnostics on this burner, I'm gonna leave the link in the description. Go check it out. All right. Yeah, so there's another part right here which comes with a kit, and this is I don't want to break anything. I don't want to break anything. Okay, this is this part. This part right here. And as you can see as well, it's completely deteriorated. So I have to release this, unscrew this screw from here. This is threaded, and we're going to put it in like so. Completely gone. Wow. All right, stay tuned. Now, if you're planning on doing this, guys, before you remove the actual igniter, I suggest you take note to the orientation, because I believe that if you put it back with the proper orientation, it won't work right, or just won't work, period. So just take note of the way it's angled, what direction it's pointing, and try to reinstall the new one in the same exact orientation. Okay. All right, just something I want to point out. Okay, guys, so the new parts are in, the old parts are out. That is the finished product. Now, I'm gonna note something here. That this piece, which is this piece right here, when you're sticking it in, you gotta put it all the way through. There's a little notch on the shaft, a little notch, as you can see, a little notch right there, and that notch corresponds to the notch when the hole it goes through. So you gotta line it up and send it all the way through, and then you'll end up with this right here. And you have to leave this porcelain flushed as much as you can. I'm actually out about of it's like 1/16, maybe 1/8, I don't know, or 3/16, maybe 3/16. Yeah, maybe 3/16. Probably that's what it is. But anyways, try to leave it as flush as possible, and you should have something looking like this when you're done. And you're good to go. So I put it back exactly how I removed it. The ground rod, I'm gonna call this a ground rod because that's all it is. It's a ground. 6,000 or 3,000 volts comes through here, and it sparks between this and this rod right here is ground. Make a spark, and poof, ignition, lift off. All right. Yeah. So like I said, it's pretty simple. I just use my needle nose to there's a clip right here. You squeeze the clips, you know, to do your thing. And, you know, just my needle nose to just loosen the screw. Not a big deal. All right, so I'm gonna put everything back together right now. Oh, there's some instructions, by the way. I don't know if I can make sense of these instructions, but I think based on what I'm seeing here, I'm all right. It says 1/8 of a gap. That's more than 1/8, but I'm actually gauging what I removed from the old component with the new one. All right, so that's like the exact angle it was at when I removed it. This one here. Actually, I even made a mark on there. I mean, that might just be 1/8 if you think about it. Yeah. All right, so let me put it back together, and we're gonna fire it up, baby. Stay tuned. Okay, guys. So, if any one of you guys pro at this stuff, comment in the comment section. But yeah, so I pretty much looked at this. It's the same thing that I have, exact same thing. So I decided, even though on the old one, the porcelain was like pretty much flushed with this metal plate right here, with the holes in it. This is where the air come through, and this is where the fuel come through. Even though it was flushed, I decided to push it forward a bit because you know, it was this much, like just about a 1/4 of an inch below the ground rod, and I was thinking that perhaps it wasn't going to spark properly. You know what I mean? So now they are perfectly level and aligned, and yeah, that's about 1/8 of an inch of a gap in between there. And you know, pretty much air comes through the hole, right? And the fuel comes up here through these through those 4 ports. And so when the fuel comes up here through this hole and the air is blowing through, fuel and air will pass over these right here. Ignition. I think this is good. This is beautiful. This is how I'm gonna leave it. Alrighty, let's do it. Okay, so I gotta show you guys this. It turns out, so if you're a bowler pro and you're familiar with these bowlers, if you're familiar with it, you must be laughing at me right now. Ha ha ha. Laughs on you because I figured it out. So guys, basically all you need to do is remove this screw right there, that nut, and once that is removed, then you can remove this entire burner assembly. Okay. So yeah, I actually figured it out while I was putting it back together. I said, wait a minute. While I was reinstalling it, I put this piece in the bottom here. I said, well, doesn't make any sense. You know, why do I need to remove this? There was no point. And the camera battery is dying, so I have no lights. Use my flashlight. But yeah, so I learned that on the way back in. You know, I've worked on boilers. I'm an HVAC guy. That's what I do. So it's heating and cooling, and I know how to take things apart and put them back together. So yeah, this is an exception to the rule. But yeah, I found out this right here is key. Now there's a groove that this thing, you know what, I'm just gonna pull it out real quick so you guys could see it. So this thing is spring loaded, and there's a little groove, but you won't be able to see that now because it's all down there in the hole. I don't think you'll be able to see that, but there's a little groove where this part sits in. I guess it doubles as a ground as well, because I don't see any other grounding wire attached to this thing over here. So yeah, so once this is out, even though the bottom piece is bolted in, you can in fact remove the burner. The burner is moving free and loose. See? Up and down, left and right, up and down. So now all you have to do is just lift it out of the elbow right there, connection. I don't know, you can see that, it's in the hole. But you remember what it looks like from the video. Simple as that. Alright? So you won't have to go through what I've gone through. I've gone through the pain, so you don't have to. Alright, so I'm gonna put that. You see how it's shaking right now? I'm gonna put the screw back. You gotta make sure it sits into the groove, into the little hole. There's a little hole on top of the burner assembly. This has to go in there. Can you see that? If you've done a good job, it looks something like that. Show the camera. I think the camera got it for a moment. Yeah, there it is. There it is. Focus in there. There it is. So that's what it looks if you've done a good job, and then this thing should be floating and steady. Alright. Okay, so that's that. Whew. See that? Let's go again. I want to make sure you guys see it. It's kind of difficult because here you go. Here you go again. Here you go again. Okay, so there's a little square piece and a little hole in the middle. Has to go in there, baby. And I'm gonna make it all the way down now. Just tighten it, give him some more. Boom. So once you're in there, this piece comes up in the middle here. You can see the spring pushes it up. And yeah, this thing is nice and sturdy now. Okay. All right.